This podcast is a member of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts and content creators, visit bio.link/red5.
And it wouldn't be Tuesday unless we're having some type of technical problem.
Yeah, exactly. It seems to be a Tuesday thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome to Used and Abused. And we're trying to get through some of these problems, so bear with us.
Yes.
I decided to say, heck, we'll go live while we try to work out these issues because, you know, it is what we do.
Yes, we're doing it live.
Right. Or I can just always say, Scott, please.
Please get your shit together.
So hopefully
Yes.
this works. I don't know.
Hopefully.
Let me just double check it myself.
It's always good to double check things.
It is. It is. Let's see what happens here. So, Kim, who we got in the chat?
Okay, so we have Rolando, Ubaldo, Megan, Dragon Buddy. All has so far joined us. Welcome, everybody, to the chat.
Yes, definitely welcome. All right,
Oh, and we just got the science fictionary in, too.
Hey, Andrew.
Oh, sorry, Andrew. Popped in.
All right, I'm just making sure. All right, I'm getting like...
Oh, and Kenny just joined us. Hello, Kenny.
Okay, I can only see me in here. I can leave. Okay. So now we're just waiting. All right. So Kim, how's your I don't want your just work. What have you been doing for the last 2 weeks? Besides being a pain in my ass.
Hey, that's my job.
I think you need to get fired from that job.
Oh, well, you know.
Oh, you know. Yeah, I do know.
Well, let's see. I've been walking. We went over and looked at Barnes and Noble. Let's see.
At least for once you said Barnes and Noble and not Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah, I know. And then playing my Dreamlight Valley game.
And playing your Dreamlight Valley game.
Yes.
Playing your Dreamlight Valley game. Playing your Dreamlight Valley game.
Yeah, playing my Dreamlight Valley game.
That's all you ever do.
You know, you're right.
Speaking of gaming.
Yes.
Friggin' PlayStation or Sony or whoever, San Diego Studios.
Yeah.
Whoever makes the new MLB The Show that's now on Xbox the last couple of years really need to get their heads out of their ass.
Well, yeah.
Because one, if you install the game on your system, you get no sound. You've heard it.
Yeah, no
I've had
sound
this
at all.
sucker up to 99
Yeah.
and get nothing.
Nothing.
If I play it on the cloud, I
Yeah.
can get all the music.
Yeah, get the music and everything.
However, I go in and you go try to create players. That's for the fun of it because I like creating players. Because I mean,
Yeah.
why would you be playing a sporting game if you're not going to create players and make them studs?
Exactly.
Go in and try to create players, and you create them. Everything it says, you go save the roster like you're supposed to.
You can't find them
and
later.
Then you go to adjust that roster to put them on the team.
Yeah.
And they're no longer they're
there.
not even in free agency.
No.
So that game is messed up.
Royally messed up.
So hopefully San Diego Studios or whoever, Sony,
can get their shit together and get a patch in there.
I was gonna hit the button since you said it. Okay. Anyways.
So, yeah, that's been my 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, last 2 weeks for me has been really fun. Or at least for the last week. Last Thursday, we held our very first ever watch party.
Yeah, I came in. I got off work just towards the end of that.
You got to work after it was over.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we're on our Discord channel. We're hosting a watch party of season 4 of Rebels.
Can't wait to see that one.
Doing that week to week,
Yep.
which pretty much should take us all the way up to
Ahsoka.
Yep. In August.
Yes.
So pretty cool. One, I've never seen Rebels season 4. I binge watched 1, 2, and 3. One, I just 1 and 2 through season or episode 7 of season 2 is where I knew I was at.
Yeah.
And so,
Yep.
But but yeah, we're having fun with that.
Yeah.
It was a blast. We had a great turnout the first week. But you know what? Let's you ready? Shall we get her over here? Bring her in?
Yes, let's.
All right. Let's get our third co-host in.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Hi, Nicole.
Hello.
How you
Hello,
doing?
chat. I've been searching for my Superman record, which I seem to have misplaced.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's making for, let's just add another thing to the day. So, but I'm here, and I want to piggyback off of what you were just talking about, because I am so excited that our channel is hosting rewatch parties. I think this is a good chance, an opportunity that, our Red 5 community really comes together and we love on each other and we support each other. And Adam, who's amazing and made our new design with the cassette tape, he usually hosts the watch parties, and something came up and I said, hey, what if we helped? And, I'm so glad that you guys said, yeah, that's a great idea, because it's just showing how our community and our network really works for each other, and we're there for each other. And I love that. And for those who don't know, though, from a certain point of view, their Discord is amazing. I love it. It is what has really shown me a wonderful community. In a very great way, getting to know people, getting to nerd out and not being worried that something's going to get spoiled for you. And it's just been so wonderful. So then to have this collaboration, and it's just been great. And so I'm just so grateful to you, Kim, that we're doing this, because, rewatching Mandalorian season 1 to prepare for season 2 is how I got to know Adam from a certain point of view. It's how I got to know, like, I already knew Cam Ray, but I got to know him more, and I got to know more people, and it's just wonderful. And I love that. So I just really hope that continues on with our watch parties. And of course, eventually it'll probably go back to From a Certain Point of View whenever that happens. Maybe that'll be at the end of the summer, but I'm just so grateful. And for those who are watching, listening, that is what community is all about. When you're there for each other and going, yeah, you know what, we'll help out, because this started off something really wonderful, and many amazing friendships have come out of it, and we'll keep it going. And I'm just beyond grateful. So just throwing that out there.
No, I love it. So what I'm gonna do is right now I'm actually gonna throw a 1-day link. Right now I'm working on it into the chat as soon as I load up my YouTube on my phone, because I usually don't run YouTube off the phone. Usually.
No, you don't.
Kim usually does.
Yeah, I'm usually the one that runs the YouTube.
Oh, what am I doing? I can do it under my name, my personal name, because.
No, you don't.
Wow. Volume down, Scott, when you got a phone in your hand. All right, here we go. All right, this should be the link to the Discord. It's 1-day access, obviously, because we're only doing some long show. So if you go to that link right there, you can join our Discord. Like I said, Thursday night at, 10 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yes. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central.
8 Mountain and 7 Pacific.
Yes.
Basically, we've got all the time zones covered.
Yeah. But anyways, you go there and you can join us on Wednesday or on Thursday nights. And like I said, this week here will be episode 2 of season 4 of Rebels. So,
Yay!
and who knows? Even when time comes in and a certain point of view takes back over on Thursdays, and we can always change a date and do something different too. We can always try some different things. Maybe we come up with, maybe there's a movie coming up and I can actually figure out how to make these movies work. Instead of always having to come up with some streaming service. Yeah. But in big news today, the writers went on strike.
Yeah, they did.
Holy cow, yeah. We'll see how that affects things.
Well, I mean, I know in 2007 they went on strike. They were on strike for over 100 days, and it really hurt fall TV.
I just hope that when they did this writer strike, and I'm not saying they don't deserve what they don't deserve. So I hope the networks or whoever they're working with really understand, we're just coming back out of we're not even out of the dark yet.
Right.
We're not even out of the dark. What that's going to do, people are just getting back to the theaters. So it's gonna hurt. So I hope they're prepared for it to hurt, because it is what it is, but hopefully, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
But maybe this will be a good time for those who work in indie film and all those to really step up, finally get their dues. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see how this goes.
Yeah,
So
we'll see how it goes. I mean, I know in 2007, that year we ended up losing the 4400 and what was the other one? There's two shows that were Heroes.
Yeah.
Those two were supposed to come back in later that fall, but because of the strike, those shows got yanked and canceled.
Yeah, they did.
And I know they also mentioned, I've also seen mentions of Lost. That's when Lost went weird. I don't know. I never watched Lost, so I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
But it was after, but it's going to depend on how long it goes. It'll depend on what it does for fall TV.
Yeah.
Now, I know another thing it did do, and that was a resurgence in reality TV.
Yes, which it could very well do that too.
I mean, you go back to like
more of that. Seriously.
if you go back to 99 through 2000 when Survivor, Big Brother, and eventually Amazing Race and a few other,
Yes.
those became the main hit shows where everybody was doing it.
We lost Nicole.
We lost Nicole. But when they those were popular, but then when the strike happened, also you had thousands of friggin' reality TV shows coming out. So well, don't see what this does. It should not affect any movies that are already finished, ready to come out this summer.
Oh, I hope not.
I saw a trailer. I haven't seen Spencer jump in the chat yet, but Spencer put a trailer for the Gran Turismo movie. It's based off of true events, right? And it looks sick.
Oh, wow.
And of course, for all those Stranger Things fans out there, I can't remember the actor's name, but it does include the guy that played Hopper.
Nice.
That plays Hopper in Stranger Things.
Nice. Oh, there's Nicole.
All right, she's back.
I'm back. Yeah,
like,
I'm here.
Boom.
I'm wearing my shirt.
I see.
Kim's not.
I'm not. I couldn't
All right,
find
you're
mine.
fired.
I
You're
know.
fired.
I'm
Get out of here.
fired.
We don't want you no more.
You're out, man. Kim, so you and I, girls' night next week. Got it.
Cool.
He's like, I've been waiting for this.
Signed, sealed, delivered. We're good with that.
Oh.
Hey, BYT.
Nicholas.
But yeah, so again, right here in the chat, I can probably, if I would brought up the other one, I will pin it to the top. If you want to join our Discord, that is literally live for 1 day. So obviously, you audio only people, you're not gonna. It won't matter to you.
No.
But as far as the rest of you go,
yes,
that are live right now, new coming in or not part of our Discord, you want to join it? There you go. There's a link. It's in the chat, and I'll let Kim pin it. She's like, I don't know how to do that.
I think I do know how to pin that.
Sure, you don't.
Well, you know what? We're going to find out right now how to pin things.
I wish I had Jeopardy music right now. Or, yeah. Dun,
I want John Williams music. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'd be getting held with copyright.
Yeah, that too. Where's Cam when we need him?
Yeah, I really wish. I mean, I wish they would, wouldn't care and, like, hey, we're just promoting this music. We're not.
True.
I just think it's funny because I laugh at them, like even, even though we're Metallica with Napster, right? And it's like, you guys do realize we were doing this in the 80s with blank tapes, right? I would have friends literally hand me a blank tape, say, hey, can you record that album for me? Yeah, no problem. Or, hey, could you record that album for me? Sure, no problem.
Don't give out the secrets, Scott.
You're right. I don't know how to pin it. You could just show me.
All right, so
Should I take a picture of you guys
Nope,
like
nope.
looking at the thing? You know.
Yeah.
never mind. I have.
Yeah, because it won't let me pin it. So you have
Oh,
to.
you know what? I gotta do it. Underused and abused.
Gotcha.
Problem solved.
Let go of me, damn cooties.
Cooties. What are we? Second grade? You know, Kim, you know who doesn't have cooties? New Kids on the Block. Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Saying
Overrated.
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, they're definitely
No.
overrated.
You know, the Man of Steel.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Who
Uh-huh.
was? I don't know. Did you? I don't know if you noticed it. I mean, we're gonna get into it anyways. But when I was watching the movie this time, I really paid attention to the opening and realized, oh, look, Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, Superman, then Christopher Reeve.
I did pay attention to that, and I did
You know why?
notice it.
Congratulations. Woo! Give the man a shield of steel.
I never watch opening credits. I don't watch ending credits. It's a waste of my time.
Oh, really? That's why you miss things. Got it.
No, I don't care. They can, if I notice something on, you told us. I asked her. She said, "Oh no." Nicole said 1. I'm like, I'm thinking in my mind, no, I know damn well Nicole said 2.
Well, we could have stayed there.
No, we couldn't. We had the 2 old people.
Well, I was sitting there lingering, deliberately lingering.
Well, I was definitely lingering. I'm like walking slowly down the hill. I'm like, come on, hurry up.
Yeah, I was lingering.
I'm pretty sure there's another scene. I'm just standing there right at the corner going, come on. I'll say here, are you coming or not? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I had to leave.
She would have told me everybody was in the restroom. I would have said, no, I'm going to stand here for a minute.
Well, yeah.
I'm looking for a specific name. She's like, why? You know somebody that made the movie? Yeah, Mom, I do. So I should have told her.
Yeah.
Liar.
Well, she probably would have let you stay.
No. All right, there we go. Now I finally got in here.
Oh, good. Now you can pin it.
Now I can pin it. There,
Put
now it's
pin
pinned
in
to the top. Now it's pinned to the top. Forget you got to do that. I forget moderators can't do that stuff. It's kind of stupid.
I know. I know.
Oh.
It is. But anyways,
Anywho,
what are we talking about tonight?
We are
Come in.
talking.
go ahead.
We are talking about the 1978 Superman movie with Christopher Reeve. Yeah,
Reeve.
Christopher Reeve, Gene Hackman, and and I can't even remember.
Marlon Brando.
Brando.
Yeah. That name went.
Okay. So, fun fact, this is George Reeves.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
This is
You're-
Christopher Reeve, no S, and not related. They're both so handsome, though. Woo!
Yeah, he actually played the Superman for the 1950s series.
So
Yeah.
let's get into okay. So I'm going to put this out there. I want everybody to know, including everybody listening on this on audio, we had no idea of the 85th anniversary.
No, we did not. It
Until-
was Spencer that mentioned it.
In our chat on the 18th for Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
It was like, okay, cool. So we get done with the show, we Peach leaves, which was great having Princess Peach here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
I heard about her visit. She said she had a really good time.
Oh good.
but later on, I think what day or something. Anyway, we hook up with Nicole. We get talking about it, and we're like, she's like, "Yeah, no, it sounds like a good idea." And then that's when I looked it up and realized, oh, this year, 2023, is the 45th anniversary of the '78 movie.
Yes.
Right.
Whoa!
December,
Okay.
but
It's in December, but we're gonna
get off a little bit
Yeah,
early.
we're gonna do it early. I mean, who cares? Nobody cares.
No.
I mean, if that was the case, then Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary should came out until the end of the month
That's true.
because it's not the 40th anniversary yet.
No, it's not.
It's the 40th.
Yeah, it's not the 40th until the end of May.
Oh! You gonna say hi?
Oh.
Hi.
She has been behind the camera.
Ah.
She popped up close enough where I could grab her. We'll see if
Director.
she flies through.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so it's Spencer who gave us the idea, which again, thank you, Spencer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Kim come up with a great idea. Oh, by the way, just so everybody knows, Kim's been beating herself up about this whole idea she had. She thought it was a dumb idea after she started digging and realizing there's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
Do you
Anyways,
guys not know me? Like, I mean, our one, what used to be Rogue One Radio, now Rebel Radio, Rock Radio. I was known for rabbit holes, trails, and paths. I was chasing that bunny rabbit all the way down.
Yeah.
but Kim's got all these notes about the actual 85th anniversary.
Yes.
Good. All you, Kim. Okay, I've got some notes, Kim.
Okay.
I was passing the buck, Kim.
All right. So it's what I had decided to, well, what was suggested and actually agreed upon was going into the movie. Kimberly opened her mouth on this, but going into the movie, I thought, well, let's go ahead and bring it from the original comic book superhero and bridge into the 1978 movie. That's what I did.
Love can build a bridge.
So,
yeah, and that anniversary was either today or yesterday.
yep.
Just FYI.
So,
Naomi.
So Action Comics actually debuted the first comic in June of 1938. And it
Okay, but let's okay, first of all, that's when the actual comic book was
I'll
stated
show.
that,
I'll share.
but
Go ahead.
the public here we go. Solo mode.
There we go.
Maybe. There we go.
You guys can
There.
talk. I'll show pictures.
okay.
But the published date was actually the 18th of April, 1938.
Yes. So it said is the first issue of the original run of the comic book magazine series Action Comics. It features the first appearance of several comic book heroes, most notably the Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster creation Superman, and sold for 10 cents. Oh, gee whiz. 10 cents equivalent to
It was a different time, Kim.
Yeah, equivalent to $2, and this was as of 2021.
Here it is. That's what the front looks
Yep,
like.
yeah. And it is widely considered to be both the beginning of the superhero genre and the most valuable comic book in the world. In January of 1933, Jerry Siegel wrote a short prose story titled The Reign of the Superman, which was illustrated by his friend Joe Shuster and self-published in a science fiction magazine. It told of the story of a bald villain with telepathic powers, which was interesting that he was originally supposed to be a villain. Trying to create a character that could sell to newspaper syndicates, Siegel reconceived the Superman character as a powerful hero sent to Earth from the most advanced society. He and Shuster developed the idea into a comic strip, which was pitched unsuccessfully. Okay, so then, fast forward, the National Publications was looking for a hit to follow their success with Detective Comics, DC Comics, and did have time to solicit new material. Jack Leibowitz told Vin Sullivan to create a fourth comic book. Because of the tight time frame, Sullivan was forced to make it out of a stockpile of inventory pages, which is interesting. He somebody really needs to. Anyway, he had many adventures, but no distinctive lead character, basically. Then he asked Sheldon Mayer to help. He came across the rejected Superman comic strips, and Sullivan told Siegel and Shuster that if he could paste them into a 13-page comic book, he would buy it, which was interesting. So then it was the original panels were rewritten and redrawn to create the first page of the Action comic. This was interesting too. It was baby Superman is sent forth to Earth by his scientist father in a hastily devised spaceship from distant planet, which was destroyed by old age. Then, once the spaceship landed on Earth, the passing motorists discovered it, and then turned the child over to the orphanage. The baby Superman lifts its large chair overhead with one astounding the orphanage attendants with his feats of strength. Then Superman, now named Clark Kent, reaches maturity. He discovers that he can leap 1/8 of a mile, hurdle 20-story buildings, raise tremendous weights, outrun the train, and that nothing less than a bursting shell could penetrate the skin. Clark decides that he must turn his titanic strength into channels that would benefit mankind, and so was created Superman, champion of the oppressed. And then it just goes on to say the 2 new panels offering a scientific explanation of Clark Kent's amazing strength were added. The panels did not identify Superman's home planet by name or explain how he was named Clark Kent. The next 12 pages showed Superman attempting to save an innocent woman about to be executed while delivering the real murderess, bound and gagged, and leaving her on the lawn of the state governor's mansion after breaking through the door into the house with a signed confession. Coming to the aid of a woman being beaten up by her husband, who faints when his knife shatters on Superman's skin, rescuing Lois Lane, who also debuts in this issue, from a gangster who abducted her after she rebuffed him at a nightclub, which leads to the cover scene with the car and going to Washington, D.C. to investigate a senator who suspects is corrupt, promoting a confession by leaping around high buildings with the terrified man, which leads into the next issue, all while Clark Kent tries to keep Superman out of the papers. So that was basically the first 13. Then, on this other one that I had actually looked up.
The one thing, I'm just going to
Go ahead.
butt in for a minute. The one thing I found interesting while helping you do this research, and this is the reason why you realized it had to do, it kind of went down a rabbit hole, is because when they first created Superman, there was no planet Krypton.
No.
There was nothing. But within the time period from like 33 to 38 before the first release issue, they had come up with Krypton, that he got his superpowers there, and the kryptonite and all this stuff. They had already had it all shelled out before the first issue in 38, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting, like reading how all the different changes they would make here and there, orphanage, and because and eventually first time there's he first was seen crashing in just by a motorist who dropped him off at orphanage. Then it was Mr. and Mrs. Kent. Eventually it's like, wow. But it's interesting just to read it, to kind of get that little back history about it.
And it was just, like I said, it was quite an education. And then it just goes on just to say just what you said. They gave his father name KL, which
Kal-El.
Kal-El, yeah.
Kal-El.
Yep.
I know I'm screwing that up.
Yeah. When he was a baby. And then, like I said, it goes into the Earth that you said in the spaceship moments before Krypton was destroyed in a natural cataclysm. See, this says cataclysm, where it was originally the age of the planet. So that was another thing that was changed too. And then Smallville, Countryside, Jonathan and Martha Kent, and then him, Clark Kent. And then eventually, as he grows, he goes into Metropolis, works for the Daily Planet, and then there's supporting characters, which instead of Lois being tracked or being pursued by a gangster that she basically snuffed off in the nightclub, here she's a reporter for the Daily Planet, Lois Lane, as well as Jimmy Olsen and Perry White, and enemies such as Brainiac, General Zod, which is one of them, and his arch enemy Lex Luthor, which he fights quite a bit.
Okay, so I mean, so early on in the comics, they really got the base of what pretty much all of us know about Superman.
Yeah.
And then
obviously
from the pages of the comic book, then they go to the TV show,
which was the 1950s TV show. And as Nicole showed us, George Reeves was actually the one that played Superman in that 1950s TV show. So, and then then after that, it built into the 1978 movie that we now know. So and
then from there, I mean, obviously the comics has been coming out left and right.
Yeah.
You know, new ones every month at least. Since the beginning, you know, and then the fact that eventually we get to where we get into the 70s and now we're gonna have a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what we're gonna talk about tonight.
Yes. But for
drinking
nothing but water. But for me to actually do this research and find out exactly how we came to know Superman as he is today was quite interesting, as well as what DC actually stood for, which was Detective Comics, because I had always known him as DC. So it was interesting to know that DC actually stood for Detective
Comics.
Detective Comics.
Detective.
Yeah, and that tongue tie. Blah, blah, blah. Exactly.
Here, stick it out.
We're just practicing.
So
I totally missed the whole time doing that too. Don't stick your tongue on and tie it.
I know. But anyway, so now I turn it back over to you for the movie.
Well, you're doing so fine. I mean, I'll just let you go.
Well,
I like what BYT just said. Nicholas said, you know, listen to old. That's really cool.
Oh, heck yeah.
I'm not going to, I'm with Nicholas. Well, not necessarily. I'll have to go check out the old Superman audio dramas because I didn't know about that. But I always I can remember as a kid being in my grandparents' car and they would have the radio on the AM and there would come on like a radio show. And it was an audio drama or an whatever. And it was always wonderful because then you're like, ooh, what's going to happen next? And you're just listening and just wonderful. So I will check that out, Nicholas, because at Backyard Tarts, because that's awesome.
We got Sirius XM and I'm like, what's this radio classics? I mean, I'm thinking radio like music, right? And I flip the channel over there and I'm listening. I'm like, ooh, this is the old school radio dramas, we all kind of get to learn about those of us that seen A Christmas Story with, little orphan Annie.
Yes. I think I was here for that one.
Yeah.
Care about the book.
And so there was one night, and this probably about a year ago, I was, again, it don't take me much to stay up all night.
No.
But because especially when I get into something, I'm like, I want to hear, because most of these are playing like 3 or 4 different shows, but then it's like, yes, give me more.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but yeah, I would love like Nicholas here. I mean, brings up, the old Superman audio drama. I think it's cool to listen to.
Okay.
But yes, the 1978 movie.
Yeah.
Now we can do it 1 or 3 ways.
How about we do it that this is the year, this is what this is. The composer is amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's start with the composer, John F. Williams, people.
Yes.
The end of the show.
Yes.
All right. Yep, that was great. You talk about Superman. All you need right there is John Williams. That's it. That's what makes this movie. No.
Well, it's so interesting because we know real quick that so when they started this, they started it before Star Wars. By the time they got done and it was out, it was after Star Wars. So by that time, Jaws and Star Wars came out. And then we have this, and go John Williams, go, because he was composer, and he's legend, iconic, amazing. I love Williams. He's just wonderful, and I'm like really ticked off that I cannot. I have a beautiful record. I'm pretty sure I've shown it off here before. When I probably first got it, I don't know. I feel like I've shown you guys, but it's just so good. Like yes.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. Like for me, a while back ago, in one of the lots of songs we got Raiders of the Lost Ark on record. Mm-hmm. I'm like, are you kidding me? All right, before that we had gotten Close Encounters. So I mean, we gotten all these different John Williams things. And so when Rise of Skywalker came out, I literally went and bought the soundtrack on LP because I don't care what everybody thinks. The movie is one thing, but the music is the thing for me.
Yes.
And it is because of John Williams that I ended up, wanting to take band in school.
Yeah.
I would assume because of, not only John Williams, but also because a lot of the Casey and the Sunshine Band from the 70s and a few of these other artists where they all had trumpets out in the forefront. You could hear the trumpets. That's what drew me to playing the trumpet, because our first band teacher said, when we went to go play band, you cannot play drums the first year.
No.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to play drums. I didn't want to play anything else, but I had to pick an instrument. So I went with trumpet. My mom and dad went and got me to use one because they're like, well, he's going to quit in the next, switch it next year to be a drummer. And I stuck with it.
Yeah, you did.
And I think a lot of it was because I realized, oh, wait a minute, listening to Star Wars, listening to all these different movies going, hey, those are trumpets out front. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, and that's pretty much what helped me choose the instrument for trumpet. But yeah, I mean, just that thing, like Nicole said, this started before Star Wars, but the fact that he did the soundtrack not only for Superman, but also Star Wars are right pretty much within the same time.
Yeah.
To have all these different sounds and all these, everything being different is amazing. And it's awesome.
I feel like his music, especially with movie soundtracks, they just tell a story. I said this, I can't remember another time, but about John Williams, it's like you can just listen to the music and it's almost like you're watching the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because his music tells the movie, and it's just like, he's iconic. And he may not win every award. Trust me, I would give him the awards if it was just me. But he's just amazing. He's probably, for me, I feel that he's probably one of the better composers of our time, because he's just that dang amazing.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I'll go out. I mean, for me personally, John Williams is our Beethoven, our Mozart.
Yeah,
exactly.
He is.
I mean, for me, that's what he is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like Danny Elfman. I like a lot of the other ones out there. But when it comes down to it, and I think of iconic scores, I mean, it's funny. We're supposed to be talking about Superman, but get us on John Williams. We are going to go. We're going to talk John Williams big time, because for me, he is, when I think of it's Star Wars, Jaws, Close Encounters, Superman, Indiana Jones, Home Alone.
Yeah, he did Home Alone.
And let's keep going. Harry Potter series.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the Harry Potter series. So,
yeah.
And those are major films right there.
Yeah, they are.
And I know there's more I'm forgetting. I know there is, because
there is, but
I will say, now I remember where I said it. WSTR, they had a John Williams series, amazing series, like to the point that after they do a show, I'd want to go watch a movie that was talked about that night. Yeah. So go check out WSTR. They are another part of the Red 5 network, and they had a series. It's in their archives about John Williams. It's really good. I highly recommend it.
And speaking of,
and I know that I believe that they talked about, I know they probably talked about Superman too. So,
and speaking about going back in the archives, you guys are on whatever app you use for your podcasts, because Lord, this episode was done way before we ever put them on YouTube. I gotta go back and find it first. Back in our archives, first year of the podcast.
Before me. Before before Nicole.
Well, I was like waiting for Kim to say it was even before her.
Yeah.
Before Kim and Nicole.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, released May 4th, 2018.
Yeah, before me.
Episode number 2.
Megan, go ahead.
I called it May the 4th Be With You. And it is an episode about, I believe it's all about John Williams. I got to look now.
It is.
On this episode, biography of John Williams.
Yeah.
Composer provided the score for all 8 current episodes of Star Wars. But yeah. So there you go. Episode 2. May the 4th be with you of Using the
Scott
Pod.
Kim, I think we're gonna go meet up with Megan in August. No, we're going in July. Probably near my birthday.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got yeah. I agree.
Megan, where was my invite?
Yeah,
for those who are listening to this, Megan in our chat is talking about how she gets to go see John Williams over the summer. Of course, it's going to be in my birth month. Go figure. Yeah. And I didn't get an invite. Rude.
That's freaking awesome, though.
No, cool. I'm excited for her. I'm very, very excited and happy for her. And I just wish I was.
Which is now, personally, part of the reason why. This is the reason why I was originally the only movie I was going to go see this year was going to be the new Indy. It wasn't because of Harrison Ford. It wasn't because of the storyline. It wasn't because of the movie itself. It's because John Williams is right doing the soundtrack for this movie. It is this, I believe, is going to be his last movie and I want to hear this in the theater.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
I will probably come home from that movie going, I have no idea what the movie was about. I don't even remember what was on screen. I was just going, oh yeah.
Well, you know how I am with the 4th one. I can barely remember. Yeah, the 4th Indiana Jones and the Mystery of the Crystal Skull or the Crystal Skull or whatever.
Oh, sorry.
Please get your. Oh wait, please tell us how you feel, Scott.
So,
Lord.
Superman.
Yes, 1978.
Yeah,
December 15th to be precise. So we're not even officially there yet. We got about 6 more months to go, or ish.
Right. 1978 came out in December.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, dang, I was 7.
I was 4.
Okay, you say it that way, right? And it makes me remember a home video thing from the 80s, Motley Crue Uncensored, where they're talking about, well, how old were you at this time? And the band's going around, I was 3, I was 2, I was 4. And I'm like, and so just listening, it took me back to that video real quick. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, the movie came out 2 days before my birthday that year.
Oh,
that's cool.
Oh, it was your 4th birthday.
Yeah, it would have.
Man, did it hang you upside down and hit you like a piano?
No.
God, what was wrong with your parents? They didn't know how to treat you right. She's gonna backhand me later, just so y'all know. So, how was your 4th birthday?
I guess it was pretty good. Don't ask me to remember back that far.
Why? Anyways, yes, 1978. Yeah. Wow, that's many moons ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is not no moon, Scott.
Nope, it's a space station.
It's a Death Star.
All right. We're going to try to do the plot.
Go
if
for
you
it.
Want to try. A synopsis would be good.
Yeah,
actually, hold up. So if you're going to do it, maybe we break it and do a slight break because really the beginning we have Krypton, right?
Right.
Yes.
Then we've got Smallville.
Yes.
Which, hold on. The Krypton part's really the scientific part, the sci-fi.
Yeah.
Right.
The sci-fi part.
Smallville part is more like Norman Rockwell, Americana.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Apple Pie. If we were talking about a different Superman, I got another fun fact, but we're not, so it's all good. I'll save that for another time. And then later, that's when it hits, when he becomes Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Well, because the actor changes 3 times.
Yes.
And that 3rd time, that's when it really becomes more like about an action-packed, more action-packed.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so fun fact, I will say it because Megan just mentioned Smallville, because I do love that show, Smallville. And I did see the cast at C2E2, and it was amazing. So Smallville, actually, some of the stuff got to be shot not that far away from where I live. So there you go.
Awesome.
Nice.
There you go. Yep.
That's okay. Kim's one of those ones. She liked that one from the 90s or 80s or whatever. The one that had Dean, whatever his dumb name is.
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain, yeah. It was called the.
Hey, he was a good looking dude then. Whew.
He was, especially when he got in that Superman suit in the Adventures of Lois and Clark.
Okay, and you know how I fell in love with Dean Cain, that Superman, was when he was on Beverly Hills 90210, and he was playing. He came to visit. I'm like, oh my god, I was little then.
Yeah,
but he was so cute.
Okay, well,
I was not even a brown guy. No, blue eyes all day. But man, that guy was cute.
Well, maybe you.
But back to 1978 Superman.
Maybe y'all do a girls' night Supermans.
I think we got some other stuff planned, but we'll get there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna kind of mix this up. I know but one of the things I do like some of the trivia is on IMDb, like to obtain the muscles.
Ooh,
I would say.
Go ahead.
This is how it connects to Star Wars, other than John Williams.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
To convincingly play Superman, Christopher Reeve underwent a bodybuilding regime supervised by David Prowse.
Oh, man.
The man who played Darth Vader in the original Star Wars trilogy.
I'm okay. If David Prowse was still alive, I'd be okay if he was my
Yep.
my coach. For some odd reason, I just think he would actually, I don't know. Something tells me that man may be a very tall dude, but based off of the stuff that he's done beyond Star Wars, being Darth Vader, not necessarily the voice, but the body. I bet you he's a gentle spirit.
Yeah.
Encouraging. I could use a good coach like him. Just saying. He's no longer with us. Sad.
All right. Glasses got to come off so I can do this. How long is this? Oh, good Lord.
Can I help with anything?
All right. On planet Krypton, Jor-El of the Kryptonian High Council discovers that the planet will soon be destroyed when its red supergiant sun explodes. The other council members dismiss his claims. To save Kal-El, his infant son, Jor-El sends him in a spaceship to Earth, where his dense molecular structure will give him superhuman strength and other powers. Krypton thereafter is destroyed.
Okay, stop.
There was one important.
Let's talk about the cast here. About that original beginning cast. That's got a really big name. And originally, when Superman was getting done, this cast member was supposed to it actually still does have top billing. One of the top billings. You want to tell us who that is, Scott?
Marlon Brando.
Yep. Marlon Brando in a sci-fi. See, you know what? We complain today about, stars being in stuff, but back then it was just considered normal.
Yeah.
It was normal. They because they were actors. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So
here's a little bit of trivia. Marlon Brando was paid $3.7 million plus percentage of gross for 12 days of shooting. The payment also covered the sequel, which was shot at the same time. Yep. Brando did not appear in the sequel because he sued, claiming Salkind had not paid him his percentage of the profits. He ultimately received $14 million for 10 minutes of screen time. The footage shot for the sequel was used in Superman Returns 2006.
Yep, Kim, that's true.
Yeah.
Your face was like, huh? I love it.
Yeah.
There's one more I'm looking for real quick because of it was actually Christopher Reeve pointed this out.
Well, while you're looking, there's one.
Go ahead, Kim. I know
that they
there,
miss.
Kim. There's always something they're missing, and so it just pisses Kim off.
Before the planet gets destroyed.
Here we go.
Before he brings it to the council, that's when they put the 3 on trial. General Zod and his 2 hoodlums.
Hoodlums?
We'll go with it. We'll go with it.
Oh, Lord.
And find them guilty of treason and traps them in a glass and sends them away. That's before the planet gets destroyed.
Yeah. Also, another thing, did you notice the S on Jor-El's?
I did.
Did you know how it was different than what the S is like we see in, that Superman actually uses when you become Superman?
Yeah, I noticed
You know why?
Why?
Because that S was on, obviously Marlon Brando playing Jor-El is actually the original one from George Reeves.
George Reeves.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting.
Oh, wow. So kind of a...
honor, probably.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
We got each other. We got.
Yes.
Here's an interesting one, real quick. We're talking about General Zod for a minute, right?
Yes, we are.
Do you know who turned down the role to play General Zod?
Who?
Sir Christopher Lee.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
Would you like me to continue with the plot?
Go for it, Kim.
Okay.
She's just gonna do it from memory.
Go, Kim, go. And I'll just stop on the way and be like, whoa, hold, oh.
Yep.
Whoa.
So,
Let's talk, I guess.
Yeah. So just so the mom places the baby in the funky spaceship star thing and shoots it off, just goes through the top of where I believe it was a lab or something that his dad was in for this science that he was doing. But the interesting thing about this bed that this baby was in is every crystal that was in there was not only from Krypton, but it also held his dad's knowledge that he could listen to as he was going to Earth. Because it did take, I think they said it took 3 years for him to get from Krypton to Earth. So
right, that's why, yeah, because once he gets to Earth, he's like 3 years old.
Yeah. So you can see him not only grow up in this spaceship thing, but you can hear his dad teaching him too through these crystals, which was very interesting to me. I hadn't really paid a lot of attention the many times I've seen this until now. So
well, I think our perspectives change. We were young, we were little, or depending on how old we were when the movie came out, or when we first saw it in the 80s, later on, you know what I mean, on the TV.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna backtrack just a little bit. In
an
interview with David Letterman, Christopher Reeve criticized Marlon Brando for his performance in Superman. He accused the acting legend of, and I quote, phoning in, end quote, his Superman performance, of not really trying or caring at all about the performance. In a March 1982 interview on NBC's Late Night with David Letterman, Unearthed by Heat Vision, the late Superman actor said he was disappointed with his experience with Brando, saying the Oscar-winning actor who played his on-screen father was only in it for the money, and it showed. And more quotations here. I don't say this to be vicious, but I don't worship at the altar of Marlon Brando because I feel he copped out in a certain way. What happened is the press loved him whether he was good, bad, or indifferent. That people just thought he was an institution no matter what he did.
Wow.
So he doesn't care anymore. End quote, Reeves said in his opinion. Brando could have been a great beacon to younger actors such as himself, but he threw in the towel. And one more quote here. I just think it would be sad to be 53 or wherever he is and not give a damn. That's all, end quote, Reeve told Letterman.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whoa. I mean,
And I think when we watched this, though, or when I watched it, honestly, I think what I think I got out of it most for the characters I liked the most was Christopher Reeve as Superman.
Right.
Lois Lane. You know, I really, that beginning, you know, the beginning, okay, bear with me here. You know, recently, you know, at the Mandalorian, everyone's like, oh, it was Andor. Sorry, not Mandalorian, Andor. All those first 3 scenes are just episodes were so, it was slow, right? Beginning. Right. And when I was watching this, I was like, this kind of reminds me of the Mandalorian. I mean, sorry, Andor, those first 3 episodes where they're setting everything up. This is all important stuff, though, because it's going to affect this part and that part and beyond.
Right.
And I remember thinking, wow, this is like the beginning of Andor, but not Andor. Like this is, I just felt the speed, the pace was, but visually beautiful, but it was groundbreaking. I mean, this was a big time for science, sci-fi people. I mean, big time. But I think, and then I thought like the teen Superman, which we'll get to, which, we'll get there, was really great. And then Christopher Reeve shows up and you go, hello.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something there. Christopher Reeve does not appear for 48 minutes.
Yes. So that beginning 15 minutes that we're talking about right now, or 20 minutes, however long, when I was watching, I remember going, wow, I don't remember it feeling like it took a bit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is no wonder. Well, because the theatric release is different from the TV release. TV release is actually more. That's why I had a 2-night thing on ABC. Aren't you guys lucky? DC's not underneath the banner. Anyways, I know I should bite my tongue just in case.
Which is so everybody knows, if you want that 3-hour version, the TV version, you can get it on Amazon. Just so you know, in Blu-ray. You can also buy it streaming or buy the digital version off Amazon.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows.
Yep. So but again, the pacing of that beginning is different. Because once you get to the Smallville part, it begins to pick up.
Yes.
And then we'll get there. I'll let Kim take back over because.
No, I mean, I completely agree with you because I'm like, wow, I don't remember this dragging.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I got to get through this because I know that I remember I liked this movie, I think, in my lifetime.
Yeah. And
again, it's like it goes just the pacing. But when you said that about Marlon Brando, it makes me go, yeah, maybe because, I've seen the other versions of, I don't know. Anyways.
No, I mean, I completely agree because I was just like, I was kind of going, at first I wanted to make sure, I think I double checked to make sure I was actually watching the original theatrical version because there's that version, there's the special edition, plus then I find out later there's a 3-hour version. I went, wow, okay. And of course, and I'll admit this, when we got done finally watching, I'm like, I'm in my brain going, wait, I remember scenes that weren't here. And then, of course, when I start realizing, oh, that must have been the special edition or maybe even the TV movie or the TV version of the movie, because I was like, whoa. But the one thing is, to bounce off of that, what Nicole said, ABC.
Yeah.
Now, ABC's got a good habit here, which we didn't realize even at that point when they, brought the Superman on TV, because later on, ABC Family would show Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and they added a bunch of scenes to it, which then made most of us fans go, yo, we want this version.
Yeah. In fact,
and we got it.
Yeah, we did. In fact, they did it to all of them they could.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. Anyways. Okay, Kim.
Okay. So, yeah, he's traveling to Earth, listening to his dad, growing into a toddler, and then
A very strong toddler.
A very strong toddler. Yes, a very, very strong toddler. So then then he enters Earth's atmosphere, and the Kents are talking about something. I can't remember what it was. And he actually
They're driving.
Yeah, they're driving, and
Field.
they see this thing go boom and crash. So then they pull over and find out what it is, and was really, really going, oh, that's what it is. Then sees this child, and the child then comes and joins them. Then Mr. Kent, cannot remember the parents' name, but we'll call him Mr. Kent.
Martha.
Okay. I'm gonna bounce back to Megan real quick, because Megan brought this up.
Yeah, she wanted to know how many connections does.
Yeah, go ahead. Say what she said.
She says she wanted to know how many connections does Superman have to Star Wars.
Well, here's another one for you. There are some behind the scenes connections between this film and Star Wars. The Kryptonian costumes were made of Scotchlite, a material used to make movie screens and reflective clothing. It was also used for lightsaber blades in the Star Wars franchise. And as lettering on expressway signs, Carrie Fisher once considered for the role of Lois Lane. George Lucas turned down the chance to direct in favor of Star Wars. Christopher Reeve was trained by David Prowse, who played Darth Vader. So there's more Star Wars connections for you. That the shiny little outfits that they're wearing on Krypton is also the same ones they use for the blades for the lightsabers.
The other director that could have been considered was also Steven Spielberg. Right. Unknown at the time. They wanted to see how Jaws went. Oh, look at that.
Yep. So, I mean,
Jonathan, by the way. Kim.
I see that. Thank you.
When you get down to this, it's ironic when you don't know this stuff. Then you find out about being Star Wars fans that we are. And all of a sudden it's like, we only knew of the John Williams connection.
Yeah, we did.
And then also we started finding
I knew about the David Prowse one. I had heard about it before, but yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's like, whoa, okay. And of course there's those points where, I have a bad habit of not watching all these behind the scenes things on Blu-rays.
Yes.
Early days of DVD, I would literally watch the movie with the director's the
commentary. Yeah.
I'd watch the movie and then turn around and watch it again with the commentary on CD.
Yeah.
But I stopped doing that when we got to the Blu-ray side.
Oh, okay.
And I stopped watching a lot of the extra stuff because I figured most of these I see, like all the Star Wars, the box set we got of Star Wars. It's like, yeah, I've seen them all. Yeah. I've seen all the behind the scenes stuff. I don't need to know. I don't, unless you got something new you haven't showed before, and it better say this is something new. I'm not going to go watch all these behind the scenes anymore. I don't need to.
Yeah.
Now, give Disney Plus credit for doing a lot of their behind the scenes stuff with each season of Mandalorian.
Yes.
So hopefully we get season 3 soon.
Yes, exactly.
So I had a thought. Now I lost my train of thought again. Never mind.
I'm sorry.
Back to Martha and Jonathan.
Yes.
Oh, I know. I was going to say as you were getting ready to talk about it. It's interesting to see their perspectives. Him, well, we have to return this child, and her, but God sent us this child. I've been wanting this child, and it does have this middle piece does have a biblical thing, some
it does.
Also, I know now I remember what I was going to say, and I've already said it once, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to reiterate it, but this was a big time for sci-fi movies in a sense. Not really sci-fi, because technically this was a sci-fi adventure, but we also had Star Wars. We also had Jaws. This was a big time for nerds. You know what I mean? It was a big time for it's coming, and I think that's really, and they were able to show what they can do. You know what I mean? Like there are people who are working so much, and yeah, wonderful. So big time for nerds.
Sorry, what? I see the term "beautiful people" and boom, Marilyn Manson pops in my head.
Oh, I figured that. Anyway,
we'll talk about it. I know you probably saw my face. We'll talk about him another time. not on screen.
I know, but Rose said, "Hey, found the Beautiful People podcast." And
I don't know what he's talking about, but okay. Thanks, Ro. I mean,
yeah, I mean, there. Those are the two beautifuls. This is Ugly Duckling.
No, you're not the ugly duckling.
Okay.
stop. You probably turned into Clark Kent, don't you?
Nope. I am Clark Kent. I'm more like friggin' roly poly.
No, you're not. Anyway,
Oops.
so back to what I was saying with the plot thing. Yeah.
Oh, that didn't work. That didn't work. Trying to do it. Didn't work. Oh, anyways, go ahead.
Anyway, so as they find this toddler, toddler. Oh, there's our mascot, our unofficial mascot.
Here she is. Say hi. Fine. She's like, I work better behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He's a Ro. She works good behind the scenes. Good with cameras.
Yes.
Real quick, I got another one.
Go
You
ahead.
know who was considered to play Jor-El?
Who?
His father?
Who?
Charlton Heston.
Oh, wow.
What about John Wayne?
I don't know.
I thought John Wayne was another one, but he
Probably
couldn't
was.
do it because he got sick.
I love the list of people that were considered to play Clark Kent, though. Holy moly.
Okay.
She's a Ro. Ha ha. Yes, she is a Ro. She doesn't like to be on camera, but you like to be on camera. But
So
Alfie
Kent
is-
just said, okay. Here are the actors who were considered for the part of Superman, also known as Clark Kent: Muhammad Ali, Warren Beatty, John Beck, Charles Bronson, James Caan, Sam Elliott,
Wow.
Dustin Hoffman, Burt Reynolds,
you said
Chris
John-
Christoph.
wait.
Chris
You had
Christopherson.
me at what's his name?
Burt Reynolds?
No.
James Caan, Sam
No.
Elliott,
Oh, there it is. Sam Elliott.
Nick Nolte, Al Pacino,
Wow.
Robert Redford,
Wow.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ryan O'Neal, Jeff Bridges, John Michael Vincent,
Wow.
David Soul, Robert Wagner, Christopher Walken.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I can't imagine that. I'm like, what?
Let's talk about. Okay, hold up. There's a reason why I think Christopher Reeve works, and he works. He is really a good attractive man, and he's tall, and he could put on that muscle beautifully. But he had that, like, where he looked strong and fierce, but yet he looked humble and gentle at the same time.
Yeah.
And that was important. Versus, as much as I love Sam Elliott, you know, you look at him and you're like, yeah, he's a little bad.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve, you do not look at him and go, yeah, he's a bad boy. No, not Christopher Reeve. That is not him. He's not, he doesn't have that persona. But he does have something very humbling about him as a person in real life, and as well as in the movie, you know, his movies, he just generally seems like he's, you know, a lot of people go, well, okay, if you're doing Superman versus Batman, you know, Superman's the Boy Scout. He's the
Right.
the apple pie, you know, and he's a really good apple pie. Versus like Batman, where he's a bad boy. We already know. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's the Batman. That's what he does. He's a bad boy. And so I think that's why Christopher Reeves works in comparison to so many of those that you just mentioned, is because there is something very good in nature and an authentic. Christopher Walken could not have been Superman either. He does not give off complete. No, he's too rebel. No.
First of all, when I think of Christopher Walken, I think of A View to a Kill,
Yeah.
and I think of the Sleepy Hollow movie.
I think of
Yeah.
Batman Returns, and I did love him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Batman Returns.
Aeroplane and Tall. I don't know why, but I love him. It's a movie I just loved growing up. It's a comfort movie, but no Christopher Walken.
No,
he's a more villainous,
right. He's a perfect bad guy.
Yeah, he is. He is.
But Christopher Reeve's apple pie. He's what Kim's about to talk about with Smallville. But we don't even get Christopher Reeve at this point.
No.
We actually have a different actor that's playing him.
There's still two people I did not mention. John Voight, and we just talked about this man a few weeks ago. Sir Elton John.
Woo! But no, he still wouldn't work.
No, and I guess also, after they also tested Sal Kine's wife's dentist for the role of Superman.
Oh, wow.
Who?
Isla Sal Kine's wife, her dentist, they actually screen tested him.
Wow.
Like, what?
Christopher Reeve.
But anyways, the cool part about Christopher Reeve, and this is part of the reason why I mentioned earlier, the first two names on the on it are Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman. Then you get Superman title. Then you get Christopher Reeve. Is previous credits were a film and television soap operas. So okay, Kim, go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were going to.
That's it.
Okay.
Back to Martha and Jonathan and young 3-year-old.
Yes.
Not Christopher Reeve yet.
Not yet.
Getting there.
Yes. So Martha and Jonathan actually got a flat tire on their truck. So Jonathan puts the jack underneath it, jacks it up, and the jack slips out from underneath it. And Martha says, "Watch out, Jonathan." And the next thing you know, this truck is being lifted. And you can't figure out why it's being lifted. Then this little 3-year-old is lifting this truck to help Jonathan change the tire. So at that point, they decide that they just could not, they just had to keep him as their own. So then they keep him as their own and raise him as their own. And he lives a semi-normal life, goes to school, is the one that's always getting picked on by the jocks and everything.
Well, and I think this is why I really do like, another reason why I like Superman is that he understands in comparison to like Batman. Like he understands that whole like geek part of him, right?
Yeah.
Gets picked on, or he's wholesome, but yet, again, he's not bad boy. So it's just
Yeah.
Yep.
So then the cheerleaders and the football team all leave for, I guess they're going to a movie or a dance or something. And he leaves the school and ends up running up with a train.
But you missed the part where he kicked the football.
Yes, he did kick the football, and the football did not remain in Earth's atmosphere.
So this is around 28 minutes into the film. To achieve the shot of young Clark Kent kicking a football into orbit, an air cannon was placed underground and the football fired from it.
Oh my gosh.
That's a cool fun fact.
Yeah. So yes, he kicks the football in frustration, and then he actually leaves the school. And the next thing, if I'm doing the sequence right, the next thing you see is him up against a train as the train's going and he's running with it.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting fact with the little girl and the mom that you found on this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's actually a different little girl in there, because that's what another thing I was trying to remember, because there was a shot in there where the mom, I don't know if that's that same little girl, if it's a different little girl, but there's a shot where a mom actually says, Lois, quit making things up about the man running with the train right in front of it.
Yeah.
But I think that was done in the special edition and also on TV.
Okay.
But there was something there, of course. Nolan Scott, he was not really, I mean, he's prepared, but he's not, because one of the things is the actor that played this teenage Clark Kent.
Uh-huh.
They actually did this in front of a live train.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, it wasn't going that fast, but they had him on wires or whatnot. And as they did it, the actual stunt guy had to grab him in front and pull him out of the way of the train.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, couldn't use the model? Really? I mean, real trains don't stop on a dime, even if they are going slow.
No, they don't.
But yeah, I found that kind of like, that's crazy. That is some crazy stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then he ends up home and meets his dad, and
he overhears the conversation with the teenagers.
Yeah, he overhears the conversation with the teenagers, and then eventually ends up home. And the one thing was this cheerleader's expression when he beat them to that point.
She was like, because it was Lana.
Yeah.
Right.
Lana, which is, for us though who've watched Smallville now, we got a lot more Lana, or those who are watching Superman and Lois now on CW, there's a lot. You get a different perspective of this particular Lana character. So
she was quite surprised that Clark had beat them to the destination.
Mm-hmm.
So
real quick, the Kansas scenes were shot in Calgary, Alberta, because their growing season was ahead and the wheat fields were at the right height.
Oh, wow.
That's a really cool fun fact.
Yeah.
I love how I'm just coming across this stuff as you're going on. Kind of like this idea, let you start doing the plots and I'll just look for all the cool fun facts.
Okay. All right. So,
well, because every time I read a plot,
I know
or a hypnosis, Kim all of a sudden,
that's because they leave a lot of it out.
The point is, they're not going to tell you the whole freaking movie.
Well,
that's true, because they want you to go watch the movie.
Right, but see, Kim don't care if you go watch the movie. She just wants to tell you all about it. I'm joking.
He's like, I'm dead.
Anyway, so then he goes to meet up with his dad, and by this time, I believe he's about.
Okay, here's the part Kim was talking about real quick,
Yeah.
around the 28-minute part with Superman running.
Yeah.
At around 28 minutes, Lois Lane's mom, played by Noelle Neal, she played Lois Lane in Superman 1948. Also, Adam Ant versus Superman 1950 and The Adventures of Superman 1952. So there you go. That's new. I knew where she was trying to go. Where she's going with
a really good, cool fun fact with that. They basically continued to honor the past Superman. I mean, because even when the opening happens and they open up with the Action Comics,
yeah,
that is again another nod to the original comic series. They did
which
a
is
good
awesome.
job honoring the original, the creators, and what had come before them.
Here's another one for, I know I didn't tell Kim, so I'm going to tell this to everybody. Carrie Eels, the guy that played.
Yeah, the guy that plays
Buttercup or whatever his name was.
No, Buttercup was the
whatever.
Girl. He played Pirate Roberts, the Dread Pirate Roberts.
You know what? The guy was better in Days of Thunder.
So
worked as a production assistant whose job it was to bring Marlon Brando out of his trailer every day. Brando, who was paid $1 million a day in overages, had a little incentive to leave his trailer, according to Eels, in an interview given to Ophelia Einsberg on the NPR show Ask Me Another, and refused to call Eels by his given name, choosing instead to refer to the then teenager as Rocky.
Ah.
So there you go. Yeah, I know. I forgot it was pirate.
Yeah, he was Dread Pirate Roberts. He also played in one of Mel Brooks.
He's best known for the pirate or
best known Bride.
Diaries,
yeah, Princess Bride.
Bride, whatever.
Yeah.
Too many movies with princess in the name of it. Ban them.
No.
I'm joking.
Anyway, back to the movie. Any more fun facts?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
So then he, as I said, he meets his dad. They start racing to see who could go up to the top of the hill first. He ends up going to the barn, and the next thing you know, his dad collapses. And his mom is going, Jonathan. He comes running out, and that's when Jonathan had actually passed away. So then the next scene you see is they're at his funeral, and they've finished it. They've left the gravesite, go back to the farm, and he is actually in his bedroom, asleep, I believe, and he hears something call him. So then he goes to the barn and opens up the floor, and in the little, it looks like a crate thing to me, is a crystal, one of the crystals that his dad sent with him long ago as a baby in his little spaceship thing. So he picks it up, looks at it, and then he's in the wheat fields wondering, should I do this? Anyway, that was my impression. Should I do this? And then Martha comes out and says, I knew that I knew this day would come, and I knew this day would come, and I knew I had to let you go. And then he says that he's lined up somebody to help her with the farm, and then he starts heading northward to find out his true roots of exactly where he came from. So as he heads northward, he gets there, finds the spot, and the interesting thing is he doesn't know exactly where that spot is. So he stops on an ice thing, throws a crystal, and the crystal directs him to where where the makeshift laboratory is that looks like what his dad. Yeah, the laboratory that looks like his dad's on Krypton.
Yeah, but it's pretty much his. It is his home away from home.
Yeah, his home away from home. So then he sticks the crystal in, and it opens up this big doorway to. Hi, Hannah. It opens up this big doorway, and inside this doorway, you hear his dad talk to him, and says, "Come with me, and I'll show you exactly who you were." And then he says, "It'll be 22. What was it? It was so many years. I can't remember the exact number of years. No, it was 10 years. What was it? 10 years? I can't remember. It was either 10 years or 15 years.
Yep, I can tell you're trying to think it's getting smoky in here.
Yeah. Anyway, so his dad says it's so many years in Earth time that he would go through this for him, let him know exactly who he is, the roots and everything. So his dad gives him this knowledge, tells him about Krypton. Then after that, he comes out, and that's when we finally see Christopher Reeve.
Well, right, because he goes back, and then it takes because he goes to Metropolis.
Yes. So as he comes out, like you said, there's Christopher Reeve, and then we end up going to Metropolis, where he's going into the Daily Planet as a reporter, an awkward reporter at this time, trying to figure this all out. Go ahead.
Just real quick, when we're back, Aaron Smolinski, he played the infant Kal-El, the little baby, right?
Yeah.
And he would later appear uncredited in Superman 3, which came out in 1983, as a little boy waiting outside a photo booth while Clark Kent was changing into Superman. I remember that part because Superman comes out, looks at all the pictures of him changing, rips off the bottom one where he's Superman, hands it to the kid. But he also played a communications officer in Man of Steel in 2013. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That the kid that played the infant in this movie actually played in another one and also in a later movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Continued on.
Anyway, continue, Kimberly.
So then he gets his job with Perry White at the Daily Planet, which then this is where you get introduced to the awkward Lex Luthor's henchman. So the cops are following this henchman, trying to figure out where Lex Luthor's hideout is. And so they're doing a sting operation. He follows them down into the subway there and gets really close, but then Lex Luthor pushes him off and he's ran over by a train. But then it goes into Lex Luthor's lounge or house or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And that's when Lex Luthor gets introduced. And that's where you also
played by Gene Hackman.
Yes, played by Gene Hackman.
Okay,
yes.
Here's a good one for y'all. Initially, Gene Hackman refused to cut off his mustache to play Lex Luthor. In early one sheets of the movie, his face is featured with a mustache before Richard Donner and Hackman met face to face. Donner proposed to Hackman he would cut his mustache. Donner would cut his too, and Hackman agreed. It turned out later that Donner did not Richard Donner did not have a mustache at all. He wore a false mustache that peeled off at the last moment. Also, another fun fact is Gene Hackman refused to cut his hair.
Oh, wow.
He was not bald in that movie. He wore a bald cap.
Oh.
Which, if you do catch it right at the end when he takes off the fake hair, it actually does grab a little bit on the bald cap. You can see it move just a little bit.
Oh, I did not notice that.
I mean, that's, here and there. I mean, that's nitpicking anyways, and I don't care about that. But yeah, so Gene Hackman actually refused. I mean, he finally agreed with the mustache. But he refused to shave his head.
Oh, okay.
So just thought I'd let you know.
Interesting.
Also, one other thing, you didn't really bring it up, but there's a part where I think it actually is when Superman's walking, or Clark Kent's walking away, left Smallville, headed for the Solitude, where he's going to eventually build it. The maintain on-screen continuity, Christopher Reeve dubbed all of Jeff East's dialogue as young Clark Kent. East's voice is never heard during the film, though in the TV cut, since the extra footage was never dubbed to begin with, one can hear East's original voice of a few times, occasionally leading to awkward moments where in one scene, in certain small moments, his voice changes tone because of this.
Wow. Okay. So, anyways, so then, you see Lex Luthor. You see Lois covering all of these different stories, and then he and her walk out the end of his first day. Somebody actually tries to mug her and take her purse.
Right. He's with her though.
Yeah.
That time. And it's Isaac.
Hey, Isaac.
Hi, Isaac.
I mean, it's Superman. It's Isaac is here. Hello. And then Superman is with, well, not Superman. Clark is with her.
Right.
When that happens. But he's doing it on purpose, not acting all macho. He's not acting like, I got this, or punch the guy right out. In fact, she kicks him. And I was like, yeah, girl, you stand your ground.
And by the way, Kim, is the Fortress of Solitude.
Fortress of Solitude, okay.
But but in that scene in the alley, he's like, oh, don't just give him the purse. And it's like, dude, you're taller than the guy. Like, come on, like 1-2. But that's not Superman. Superman's not like that. Superman is Batman would have punched him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clark, he was trying to protect his image. Not protect his image. He was trying to protect who he was.
Yes.
He didn't want Lois to realize that he at that point he wasn't even Superman, but that he had these superpowers.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then they go into the alley. The evil guy that's trying to steal her purse points the gun at him. The bad guy points the criminal points the gun at him, tries to shoot him. Next thing you know, Lois turns around and he grabs the bullet, but to make it look good, he hits the wall and then goes like this, puts the bullet down and sees if Lois is okay, and then says, Lois, was that worth it for some credit cards and some money?
$10, like 13 cents, and
some
credit cards.
Yeah.
How'd you know? Good guess.
Good
guess. Like, yeah, right. But...
Yeah. Right.
So your pants on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So then they continue their little walk. He's trying to get her to go on a date with him, and she says, "No, I'm busy." And that's when I believe she has that interview with the president or something with the helicopter where she has to go meet the
Air Force One's coming to Metropolis with the president, and so she's gonna go out there and be the reporter that she is to get either an interview or at least get some comments, and then she's gonna take off in the helicopter. Go for it.
And the helicopter tries to take off and gets caught. I believe it looks like caught in the cables and starts spinning out of control. And eventually it knocks the pilot out and it goes over the side of this building. and she's hanging on for dear life because she's now fallen out.
Okay, so originally the helicopter scene was simply going to have Superman save Lois from falling. Later, Richard Donner decided to have the helicopter drop and modify the scene. The modified scene was called the Double Jeopardy scene.
Oh, okay.
Which I love. That's probably one of my favorite quotes from this movie when she starts falling. First of all, I loved all the little tidbits that they did, and I'm here we go, solo layout so that everybody can see it.
Yes.
Anyways, I loved all the little tidbits that they did. That they did with the kind of little jokes within Superman, where he went to go, change as she's falling. He goes to go change, and there's this half phone booth.
Yeah,
exactly. I love that because it's like, and then he goes into the little spins.
Yeah,
flies up, grabs her.
Yeah,
says, "I got you, miss."
You got me, but who's got you?
Oh, I love that part. If you got me, who's got you?
Who made who? Who made you? Sorry, totally made me start thinking of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's probably one of my favorite scenes of that movie. One, because they did some throwbacks, kind of in jokes within Superman, like, oh look, here in modern day Metropolis, they don't have the full phone booths that you can go change into, so he's got to improvise.
Nice, yeah.
And then as he grabs her, got you, miss. Then if you got me, who's got you?
Yeah. And then also gets the helicopter too and saves the helicopter and gets them all back on top of the building.
Right. Anyways, sorry.
No, that's fine. So do you want to take over from there?
No, go ahead. You're doing great. What? Take a drink.
No.
No.
Water. Water.
Water.
Water. Water.
No. No. No.
No. What do you think you are? Freaking Grogu? No.
Well, if you have not seen The Mandalorian, sorry.
If you haven't seen it by now, too bad.
Ooh,
do I need to make a sign?
What y'all are showing.
I guess.
Pillow talking.
I guess I need to make a sign like they have on Sidebar.
You might want to.
Or make a spot where it comes down below. It says Kim House P.
Yeah, you might want to.
I love how you're trying to be all bill about it. I'm just like, yep, Kim's got to go pee. Okay, fine. Now I got to figure out where you're at. Thanks.
The helicopter scene. Then after that, shortly after that, is when.
Right. Anyways, then after that, he thwarts a drool thief attempting to scale the Solo building, captures robbers fleeing police, and depositing their getaway cabin cruiser on Wall Street, which was freaking hilarious. So a boat shows up on Wall Street.
Yeah.
I would also love at this point the police chief is literally talking to one of the officers who's like, "No, man, he's wearing blue and red tights and he flies and like go to the bar, have a drink, get one for me. I'll be there in a few minutes." And then all of a sudden, there's the boat. They see him fly off. He's like, "Never mind, I'm coming with you right now." Obviously, not believing what they're actually seeing. Then he rescues a girl's cat from a tree.
Oh, that's just sweet.
And then, of course,
apple pie.
Right. And then, of course, she goes running in and tells her mommy about the man flying in and saves her cat. And the mom says, "Quit telling lies," which, okay, And then saves Air Force One after a lightning strike destroys an engine. The Caped Wonder is an instant celebrity. Daily Planet boss Perry White wants the newspaper to find out more information about him. Clark visits Lois at her penthouse apartment the next night. Or I love how it says Clark visits. Actually, Superman visits Lois at her penthouse apartment the next night.
They both
for
do.
An interview and takes her for a flight. Lois subsequently writes an article naming him Superman. So another fun fact here.
Because Clark Kent does come to her. Like he's like, "Oh, I came here for our date." And of course he's like, I came here for our date, but I've already been with you this whole time. Flying you in the air as if, I don't know, we're on a magic carpet ride.
Right. And the interesting part is that whole during that sequence of the flight where she starts where Margaret Kidder starts talking about or giving lines and whatnot, that was actually supposed to be a song.
I was gonna say that. That's what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
That's what I was like, and I was like, I'll let you take it. And I was like, oh, yep, it's the same thing, which is that was supposed to be a song sequence that she was going to sing, but they didn't think it was right. And I'm like, no, it was meant for Aladdin and Jasmine. It fit better. It's animated. So. Right.
But I mean, it was cool. And you're right. I mean, I think one of my favorite parts during the interview section, and the reason why we even went to take a flight is because during the interview section, she asked, how fast does he fly? And like, well, let's go find out. And of course, there's a couple times where he gets, here, hold me. They kind of get like this, and they lose, and she starts falling. And he goes down and swoops her back, picks her back up. But one of the things I love during this interview point is he's literally given her everything that hurts him.
Yes,
or that he can't, he can't see through lead and the kryptonite.
Yep.
And the fact is, what I love too is when he says she can't see through lead. The reason why is because she asked what color underwear she was wearing.
Yeah. And
he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Lil, I can't see through lead.
And then
she walks off and
he goes pink.
Which of course, when you become a teenage boy and you start watching this show, you're like, yeah, X-ray vision would be freaking badass.
Yeah.
Why? Go ahead, Kim.
Okay. So then
Okay.
Then the interview actually gets complete between him and Superman and Lois. And by the time the flight's over, Lois is so much in love with Superman, it's not even funny. So then Clark comes up and knocks on the door and says, Lois, I want to know if you're still up to go for our little dinner date at 8:00. She goes, 8:00? Oh yeah, come on, let's go. And I mean, she's just so in love with Superman. It's funny. It's so hilarious. And Clark's going, what's going on? But yeah. So they go on this date thing that Clark had planned, and then
kudos, he planned it, people.
Yeah, he did.
Planned it.
Oh yeah.
These are reasons why I like Superman and Clark Kent. He planned a date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
What?
So then why she's in getting before they go, kind of back up a little bit, why she's in getting all dolled up again, fixing her hair and everything, he takes his glasses off and says, Lois, I want to tell you something. Then Lois comes back. He quickly puts his glasses on. I can't remember what she says, but then they leave.
Right, because he was about to tell her, and then and then he decided not to.
Yep. And then somehow, I'm not sure if this is just a little synopsis anyway, but then Luther ends up coming up on the Daily Planet newspaper that his henchman had bought for him, because by this time Luther was wondering
Otis,
thank you. Because Luther was wondering who this person was, so Otis came with the Daily Planet that had printed out Lois's interview with Superman, and that's when he figures out exactly what Superman's weaknesses are. So then he's telling Otis, and can't remember his girl's name, but the girl, about how he's going to be he's got this big genius plan to get him there. And so that goes into effect. In the meantime, he gets called in. He gets called into Perry White's office, and Perry White starts to talk to him about the story, and he all of a sudden hears Luther, and he says, I know you can hear this, Superman, because the only other ones that can hear it are dogs. So then he lowers him to where his lair is, and he goes in, and at that time he had already figured out that there was a meteorite that had hit that he wanted to get that was kryptonite. So he makes this devious plan before he gets there to put this in a lead box. So before he gives Superman the kryptonite, he goes over with Superman this big elaborate plan of how they hijacked these missiles and changed their trajectory coordinates to where they would hit. And this is when the gal finds out that one of them's heading for New Jersey. Can't remember the name of the town. Oh, now Hackensack, New Jersey. Do you got another fun fact on that?
Not on that one actually, but I do have a fun fact. I'm going to run back to Jeff East, the one that was jumping in front of the train. Ironically, Lex Luthor, also known as Gene Hackman's brother, Richard, saved young Superman, Jeff East, from being killed during the shoot. East described the incident during a recent interview, and I quote, Gene Hackman's brother, Richard, saved my life on one day of shooting. I was doing the shot of jumping in front of the train, and the crane moved past the mark. I swung into the oncoming train. Richard Hackman caught me as I swung back into the camera area. If he had not caught me, I would have been hit by the oncoming train, most likely injured, if not killed. A scary moment. Thanks, Richard. End quote.
Yes.
Anyways. Go ahead.
So he's going over this elaborate plan with him.
But Lex, my mother lives in Hackensack.
So yeah.
And Lex looks at his watch, shakes his head, no, not anymore.
Yeah. So, but that's after he gives the kryptonite to lowers Superman to look into the lead box, and that's where he finds the kryptonite. He puts the kryptonite on Superman's neck, throws him into this big elaborate pool, and then by that time, yes, the missiles have taken off, and that's when that Hackensack thing comes in. So then they're sitting there in the control room watching these missiles. You could tell she's kind of torn. So then she goes back out, and Superman asks her if she could save him. And her one stipulation is, will you save my mother? And he says, yes. So then she jumps in the pool, white dress, jumps in the pool and saves Superman. Basically saves Superman. He thanks her. And then he now shoots off to stop these missiles, which at this time, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen is on another assignment covering another story, because before all this, Lex Luthor was buying up enormous amounts of land that was actually basically worthless. So she's covering that story.
What, Kim?
I'm just wondering what kryptonite. Oh, kryptonite. Yeah, I was just wondering I was just looking at what JV said.
Yes.
Hey, Joker voice.
Yeah, Joker voice. Yeah. It says kryptonite by itself is just a piece of krypton. Has no effect. It's the cosmic radiation from being flung through space on its way to Earth that is toxic. Oh, I did not even know that.
All right, so a couple of Superman in jokes, as I was talking about a few minutes ago. The phone booth gag, for instance. Phone booth was not a normal phone booth, at least not from back. It was in our era. That's how our phone booths looked. We didn't have the opening doors and all that. A lesser known example was a scene where Otis tries to take Superman's cape. This was a tribute to the 1972 Jim Croce song, You Don't Mess Around with Jim, which had the line, you don't tug on Superman's cape.
You
don't spin into the wind.
You
Don't
don't
pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger. Don't
Don't
mess
mess
around with Kim.
around.
All right, anyways, back to Superman, Kim.
Yes.
By the way, that's the second time.
Yep.
I'm keeping kind of tabs. We'll see. One of these days, somebody's going to keep tabs. How many songs can Nicole sing in one episode?
So anyway, he ends up stopping one, and I think he flings it into space, and then ends up trying to stop the other. The only way he could stop the other was the San Andreas. It already crashed into like the San Andreas fault, so he was literally
Right, which again, they use that tagline that is completely false, where if you break off the San Andreas fault line, California will fall off into the ocean.
Oh,
no.
Not going to happen. Even if they had a major earthquake on that, California will not fall into the ocean. It will separate into the ocean. Yes, it will move outwards, but it will not go down.
No.
Good Lord.
Anyway, you seem to be looking for
No,
other
go
things. Ahead. Okay. So then he's in the Earth's core going like this, trying to fix the San Andreas fault. In the meantime, everybody is experiencing high intensive aftershocks, which then Lois is on her way back from the interview. Her car runs out of gas. She tries to get to the gas station and it's closed. Jimmy's on the dam.
Hoover Dam.
On the Hoover Dam.
This is something I actually paused the movie for this point because of the fact that right now, we've been talking about Lake Mead's been a lot in the news for the last few years because it's going down.
Yeah.
It's getting close to Deadpool. At least it was. Not anymore. I mean, it's still low. But there's this white line, if you ever see pictures or even videos of around Lake Mead right now, there's all these, decent white line where the water level had been for years. And I noticed in this Superman watching this that you already had, so much of the white, already down. So that's ironic. I think I pointed it out to you.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
So then Lois, like I said, is traveling back. The gas station's closed. In the midst of all these aftershocks, her car runs out of gas. She gets the earth starts separating. It eats her car. And
now we're going to talk about spinning the earth backwards.
And it also, yes, you can have your opinion on that. Let me finish this.
Sure. Mom, I'm not going to say it.
Which was supposed to originally be in Superman 2. That's another fun fact. This was being Superman 2.
Oh.
That was to spin the earth backwards to revert time and then not have everything lined back up again. Never mind. I'm shutting up. Go, Kim.
Anyway,
Kim, go.
Anyway, so that was actually the thing. So then he tries to save Lois, cannot save Lois, but he does save town from getting flooded after the dam breaks. He saves other people, but can't save Lois. So then as Scott pointed out, he goes and spins the earth backwards as if it didn't happen. So.
Right. Which then Scott's going, and where are the missiles?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Anyways, go ahead.
No, that's I'm turning it back to you or Nicole. I'm done.
Well, he goes back, pulls Lois, he gets Lois, saves Lois.
Yeah.
Which then again, if all this stuff happened, rewound it all, how did they know that there was a major earthquake? Even Jimmy comes and talks about, well, just leave me there during an earthquake. You're like, well, wait, if everything got spun backwards, you shouldn't remember none of this crap.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm shutting up. Anyways, and then you get the nice little, eventually Superman takes off, flies up into space, and waves, breaks the fourth wall, waves at the camera, smiles at the camera, boom, end credits, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that scene for me has always been an issue. Even when I first saw it, I'm like, ugh, don't like it.
I agree with what Joker said.
Oh, we'll click it up on screen, Cam.
But we love our Megan.
Yeah. I think it all started with Megan, I think. Yeah, Megan said, "Hey, JV,
no. It started with JV. They were just talking about the California scene.
Okay. And then now he says the spinning of the earth in reverse on its axis. You give me a week and I couldn't list the reasons why that's a bad idea.
Well, I think you're in luck, JV. You and Scott agree on that. Thankfully it's fiction. It's a movie.
That's the thing I gotta remind myself. It's the same thing with Star Wars. You know, when you have things that physically or physics doesn't can't happen. You gotta remember it's fantasy. Everything's gotta be thrown out. There's no belief in anything working properly.
That's true.
I mean, you might as well make it Star Trek.
Who's gonna break the bad news to Isaac?
What?
I don't know. Because he says Superman isn't real.
Well, Isaac, you'll have to go back and talk about these guys and these guys.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just see who else. Oh, about that guy.
Yeah. So he is real. Star Wars is set on Star Wars is set on different planets. Superman is set on Earth. Real world physics apply. Got it.
I'd like to say to Ro and Isaac, if he's real, then I expect more Clark Kents. Be like Clark Kent who planned dates.
Yes. Yes. So
he is I love him. He's apple pie and lovey. I love him. He was awesome.
Yep.
Well, I can tell what Scott's least favorite part of the movie was already.
Yeah.
But all in all, what did you guys think about Superman 1978?
I've always loved this movie. I mean, I don't let these little parts that I don't let that bother me. I do like the movie. I mean, if I let that stuff bother me, then I would pretty much hate every movie, including Star Wars. Because I can nitpick every friggin' Star Wars movie, including the original trilogy.
Oh,
I have moments. I have my issues with the original trilogy. I have my issues with Return of the Jedi. I have issues with Empire. I have issues with A New Hope.
Yeah.
I have issues what Lucas did in the prequels.
Okay, we
can go down this road, and honestly, that's probably why I haven't watched Star Wars, any of the movies since Rise of Skywalker came out in theaters.
Yeah.
I've not watched one Star Wars movie since.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Other than that, I do like this movie.
Yeah. Oh, Joker says Donner film is still the best Superman movie. John Williams score versus Zack Snyder and Hans Zimmerman. Good, but not even close.
Well, I'm glad that Joker gave them credit where credit's due, but I have to agree. John Williams, we talked about that at the beginning. JV, actually, how we started the show. I'm like, can we talk about John Williams?
Yes.
We all
love John Williams. I mean, John Williams alone is, that John Williams alone gives a movie an instant 5 stars for me.
Oh yeah.
Just John Williams. I mean, I don't care what movie it is. I love his scores. I love the way I just love his music. I love the way he comes up with what he composes. So I will automatically, just for John Williams alone, I'll give a movie 5 stars.
Well, yeah, I will
out
too.
Of 10.
I will too.
Anyways, go.
Anyway, so I just watching it this last time, there was a lot of stuff that I did realize and did notice that I hadn't in the past. So, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed watching it again. I hadn't seen it in years.
And we have to remember, like in 1978, though, that this was, again, we just had Jaws. We just had Star Wars, the first Star Wars, A New Hope. And again, this is coming up, and they were breaking new ground with technology and the way things were working and how wonderful and different everything was. And so, and again, the beginning of the nerdy days, man, were happening. And Christopher Reeves is just, he encompasses that. So,
yeah. Yeah, I totally forgot about the Larry Hagman was in the movie too. You know, when as one of the officers, when they walk up on Miss Tessmacher's crash. And of course, that's the other thing too. Here she has this supposed to be in this massive rollover.
Yeah.
Yet there is no blood, no nothing. Like, hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, again, you know how I am when I get with nitpicky. I freaking like, no, don't go there. So I'm trying not to go there, but I'm going there for some freaking reason.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just
Kim, they can't hear you because I can't hear you.
I was just gonna pull that up. And it said, this is what Joker said. To be fair, Brandon Roth gets a bad rap for Superman Returns. He wasn't playing Superman. He was playing Christopher Reeve playing Superman. See,
I'm happy you brought that up, because actually one thing that I did see in here with both Brandon Roth and Christopher Reeve were both 26 years old with their first appearances as Superman.
Yeah.
No, I agree with him. I mean, he's right, because I believe that's Superman Returns. And you can tell that they're trying to have the actor play as Christopher Reeve playing Superman. You can feel it.
See, that's what I thought when I watched the trailer, because I got that impression too on it. I haven't seen the movie, but seeing the trailer, I kind of got that impression for that.
Real quick, the sequence with the helicopter falling off the Daily Planet roof took 6 months to film, using 5 film units working in 2 countries.
Oh, wow.
You don't notice it.
No.
I mean, also 4 of the cast members from the film made appearances in Smallville 2001, the CW's updated Superboy. Christopher Reeve, Margaret Kidder, Mark McClure, and Terrence Stamp. Helen Slater, who starred in Supergirl in 1984, also made a guest appearance in Smallville. As far as Helen Slater goes, she will always be the Legend of Billie Jean to me, not Supergirl. Anyway,
True.
We're not going there.
Well, see,
that'll be another day.
Yeah, but just to kind of tie that up in a bow, see, I hadn't watched The Legend of Billie Jean, so I had only watched Supergirl. And so when I watched The Legend of Billie Jean with him, it's like, oh, that's who that is.
Okay, so you've seen it now.
Yeah, I've seen it now.
Just so you know, that was Christian Slater's first movie.
Right. I mean, as far as that one goes, I mean, that movie will always
now I can hear Pat Benatar singing in my head, and I'm trying not to sing Pat Benatar. We can afford to be innocent.
Yep.
Exactly. I was just going to bring that up because that is one of my favorite songs from Pat.
Interesting.
But anyways, Kim, did you give is there anything you disliked in this movie?
Not really.
Besides the slow, draggy part in the beginning.
Well, yeah, that was actually the worst part of it. But again, you had to build the characters. You had to build it up to what it was. And Joker Voice, before I
go ahead,
Joker Voice brought up a good point. Superman Returns is a fourth sequel to the Donner film, and then Smallville paid a lot of homages to the Donner film,
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You bottle seen it.
I mean, hello. We talked about this already, like the beginning, that this movie really pays homage to a lot of the original stuff. Right. So of course Smallville is also going to do it, and others, and so forth and so forth. Thankfully, we're talking about 1978. But yes, it's nice when they honor things.
It is.
Homage.
It is. I mean, I don't know, Nicole, is there anything you really disliked?
I felt the beginning was kind of slow, but now when you said that one fun fact, not really fun fact, but a fact about Christopher Reeve and his perspective on Marlon Brando now makes me go, huh?
Yeah, right.
Maybe he was right.
Yeah,
probably right.
Well, I mean,
that doesn't even go back fully on him either. It still goes back to directing.
You got to remember too, Brando just come off of doing The Godfather too.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. You still have a job too.
Oh, I know about what. Oh yeah, but I mean, you're talking about something like Brand. I mean, I could definitely see it. He's got an ego. You know, if you're not kissing his ass, you know, he don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, like I like this how Ubaldo just said, it's an 8-year-old fantastic movie. Because again, if you're back in 1978 and you're watching this in comparison to what I grew up watching, that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was an eye opener versus now I've seen so many other things, and it's just like, if I would have seen this before I ever seen, well, no, I'd seen this before I saw Iron Man, but like I've seen Iron Man 1,000 times since, and it's just like, okay, there's a difference, and I've seen that technology difference, and but then that's when I also quickly remind myself, but this is where a lot of it began, you know, right. And yes, it had already been started, but this is when they really started, when it's really started taking flight, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, that technology and getting, this was groundbreaking, you know, Star Wars, and again, Jaws, all groundbreaking movies that really was going to send, you know, without them, I mean, they really were breaking the mold for the time. So I remind myself for that also. So.
All right, I'm trying to look for one more thing because I know I saw something here where about money. Money.
Oh, I know the budget, and I know the box office. Would you like me to tell you?
Yes, please.
All right. So the budget was $55 million. Had to add the
exactly.
And the box office brought in $300.5 million.
Nice.
So money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find it. I know I saw a deal in here where it said this was actually Warner Brothers' highest grossing film up to that point, and then its next highest grossing film after that was in 1989. Batman.
Batman, yeah, Batman. Yep.
Which they're lucky I went to that one. Warner Brothers is lucky I went to that movie.
Oh no.
Because if it would have been for Jack, I would have stayed my ass home.
I know.
And we already talked about that.
Yeah.
Batman versus I had my little moment because Christopher Reeve is apple pie and Norman Rockwell and all the
things. The one thing, I mean, I guess we'll just go around the room real quick. What was the first, around the horn here, around the microphones? What was the first movie?
Of course it is, Waldo.
Out of, let's say, these four movies, let's just do the first four, through Quest, whatever the hell it's called.
The Quest for Peace.
Yeah, that one. The first four, what was the very first one you ever saw?
What?
The first four, Superman 1, 2, 3, and 4. What was the very first one you saw?
Like, I'd remember that. Dad, are you in the chat still? I need your help.
I can honestly say I never saw any of these in the theater. I only saw them on HBO. But I know, for me, I guess I'll say. So the first time I saw Superman live action was actually Superman 3. I had not caught any of the other two Supermans yet. So I will always have a guilty pleasure for Superman 3 while I know that movie sucks.
See, and that's about my earliest memory too, is when we went over to Elko to the old drive-in over there with the little speaker boxes, and it was Superman 3 that we had saw.
I didn't see 3. I mean, everything, all the Superman movies when I saw them was on HBO, or eventually went to the video place and rented the VHS.
I don't ever recall watching 1 and 2 until after I'd watched 3, and then Mom and Dad actually, I think they rented, or somehow we came across 1 and 2.
Okay. I mean, for me, one's always my favorite one. Now, I mean, again, I know, I like I said, guilty pleasure. Superman 3, it's a guilty pleasure. I have a few of those, but yeah.
Joker Voice answered the question too. He said he saw the 78 movie in the theater, so that was
nice.
So
awesome. Anyways, Nicole.
I liked his other point he made. A lot of people focus on flying X-ray visions. Superman would not exist if Kal-El was not raised by John and Martha Kent, his earthly parents. are what made Superman. Yes.
True.
That is true.
Yes,
That is
agreed.
true.
Good point.
Agreed.
Awesome
Yep.
point,
I think I
Jamie.
kind of went to. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but kind of. Anyways, and my dad says yeah. So I don't remember. I know that I did. I just don't remember. Like,
Right. I mean,
I just do not remember.
well,
Like, I know that I remember seeing it on TV.
I have like vivid memories of going to theaters. I don't remember which movie it was, but I remember seeing Grizzly Adams in the theater with just me and my mom. I don't remember anything about the movie. I don't even remember what the movie was called. I just remember it. And I remember where the theater was at. Then my next memory of really going to a movie was Empire.
Yeah.
That was my first Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
But my mom reminds me, we went and saw Kramer versus Kramer in the drive-thru. I'm like, I don't remember. I mean, I remember going to a drive-thru. I don't remember what friggin' movie was playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because it was over my head. I mean, what? Kramer versus Kramer, 70s. So I'm a young kid.
Yeah.
That was way over my head. Who I probably didn't care for the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, some adult movie. Who cares about it?
Yeah.
Ooh, adult movie. Wait, wrong
Not that kind of adult movie. Rated R or something like that. But yeah, I mean, and the thing was, we didn't go to a lot of movies.
No.
I mean, after Empire, the next movie I remember seeing in the theater was we go on vacation to Oregon in 1983, and I see Return of the Jedi, the same theater I saw Empire.
Yeah.
And we walked out, and so we walked out of that one, and my little sister goes, I love the little teddy bears. I went, I hate this fucking movie. And walked away. My mom mom's like,
no, I think Rose
like,
attest to murderous bears.
My mother looked at me and said, when we get back to your aunt's house, we need to talk, because I did drop the F word. I was pissed. That little girl was not supposed to like this friggin' movie. And now she's all about the cute little teddy bears.
I love the Ewoks, Scott.
Hey, you know what?
And
You girls can love the Ewoks.
And they're murderous spears.
Ewoks remind me of porgs. They're
I
great
like
for
porgs.
food.
And Grogu. Stop it. We're talking about Superman.
Yeah.
Go fly off a couch. Or fly off in
What?
space while I'm alone.
No.
He's like, you're fired.
I'm gonna have a Grogu burning party.
No.
No, Scott. No, Isaac. Back to 1978. Superman.
Exactly. Pork fried rice.
No.
Copy of Ewok.
No.
Anyways,
As Nicole
And
said,
happy 15 years to Iron Man. That was today. We're Ubaldo, we're like really like on our own schedule this year, because we're just like we're celebrating the anniversary of 1978 Superman 6 or 7 months early.
Yeah, we're doing it early, folks.
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
All righty. Anyways,
1978 Superman.
Yeah.
So
Birds on planets. Superman.
I will give this one a 2 capes out of 5. I'm joking.
I think I would give it like 4 capes. And
Yeah,
nobody
I would
tugs
give it 4.
on Superman's cape.
Nope. I would definitely give it 4. I mean, I was joking around. I was waiting for Kim to give me that look as she did.
Oh, she was going to get you anyways, because trust me.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. All right. Anyways, but yeah.
I agree. I give it 4
I
capes
enjoyed this.
too.
I enjoyed this movie. I will eventually have to report back on what I think about the 3-hour version.
Yeah.
Because I definitely want to see that one.
I do too.
I'm pretty sure I watched the 3-hour version.
I'm pretty sure we've all seen it, because it was on ABC.
No, I think that's the one I watched today. I think.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, or to prepare for this. Oh, Backyard TARDIS, best superhero movie ever. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Isaac,
I
don't
will
make me wrench it, man.
again. I will agree with UIT, and I mean, we only did
Stop it.
5.
9 out of 10.
I agree with Joker. I mean, definitely 9 out of 10,
10,
especially
yeah.
for a $78 film. Yeah, I mean, Batman, 89 Batman, and Superman, 78, 89 Batman. There's your 2 great movies.
Yeah.
Superhero movies. The rest of it, including whatever Marvel's done, sucks. But you gotta remember, I'm saying this as someone who's never watched the Marvel movies.
You have to watch some of them.
I watched up through Thor, Kim. It's taking me. How old is my grandson?
I forgive you. It's okay.
2 or 3 years old.
I think he's
3. Gonna be 3 this year.
I think
I've only watched 4 movies in 3 years.
I know. Now I'm like, wait, if I would have known that JV liked this movie, I would have said, hey, we should have. Oh, well, sorry.
I do like things.
That's what I love about JV, though. I mean, he
does like some things. That's what we do.
Hey,
what
the
I
thing
like
is,
about you.
the thing about this is there's a lot of stuff out there where I don't like, and I know he likes, or I know that Kim likes, like let's just go on with it. Care Bears, Smurfs, but My Little Pony. I mean, let's get rid of that stuff. We don't need it.
Excuse me?
You heard me. I mean, that stuff was not needed. There was no need for this.
Don't worry, Kim. I got you. Go ahead, Scott. I'll be here next week, Kim.
Just like the saying, I mean, Master of the Universe cartoon series back in the 80s. Yeah.
She-Ra.
Anyway.
Yes! Joker World like the Smurfs! Yes! Yes! Okay, if we ever talk about the Smurfs, I know who I'm calling.
Anyways, the thing is, if we all like the same stuff, it would be a boring friggin' world.
Yes, it would.
So, I mean, okay, shall we? I mean, Kim does like Twilight. Little sparkly vampires.
I do.
I'm gonna go with Megan on this.
What? Devilish. Kim wouldn't give up.
So how dare you?
I'm not ripping on 80s cartoons. Special note, I am not. We ever do a 1980s? I just had an idea for. I just had a good idea. I'll tell y'all later.
Okay.
Might have to bring JV on for that one.
It's like while I was a Hulkamaniac, now I look back at Hulkamania going,
yes, Hulkamania. That is when I watched wrestling.
Ultimate Warrior were all friggin'. It was dumb. Why I ever fell for that crap?
Well,
I mean, I think that's why I really did in the 90s. I gravitated towards Undertaker.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I definitely said I love my dark side. So
yeah. Joker voice is on your Twilight train there.
I'm sure he is.
I thought we were talking about Superman from 1978.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and I agree, Backyard TARDIS. They are legit.
Smurfs were legit. Yeah.
All right. Anyways. But yeah. So
yeah. Anyway, back to Superman. Anything else? Anything else that you found? Any other interesting information?
Oh no, that's okay. One, there's no couch. I got a recliner. I mean, it's fine.
He'll just pretend he's Clark Kent. It's okay.
No, I'll just play video games all night.
Oh,
and then wait until she goes to sleep or gets up for work, and then I'll go to sleep.
So
that's how this rolls.
Pro wrestling was the best in the 90s.
Attitude Era.
Yep.
For me.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
Attitude Era. I will take it. NWO, DX, and friggin'
I'll take David Prowse,
But anyways.
Training up a very
Christopher
Reeves.
Right?
Nice buff,
Yeah. Yeah. So is there any more other like fun trivia or anything?
I'm sure there is. I would have actually still been looking, but I haven't been looking because I've been hating on everything.
Yeah, see what happens? You can been finding out really cool stuff.
I know.
It is what it is. Bye, JV.
Have a good one, JV.
Have a good evening.
All right. Anyways,
Hashtag keep talking. Sorry.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Did I do good? Hashtag keep talking. By the way, Alfie went, huh? I did that.
So,
Go ahead, Kim.
oh, I was just,
Go ahead.
I was just going to just mention probably an insignificant little fact about this, but I watched something like a back behind the scenes or something on the 78th Superman, and I tell you, the costumes Christopher Reeve had were numerous. So if something spilled on it, if something ripped on it, he would have to change into another costume for Superman in order to get it done.
Nice.
Cool.
I mean, what they showed,
because you have to be prepared.
Yeah, what they showed, it looked like it was like a huge, like warehouse looking thing full of Superman costumes. So,
oh, that's a really cool. I like that, Isaac. The Kryptonian people we see wear luminous suits that seem to glow unnaturally. The material the actors wore were made from the same material movie screens used to be made out of. That's a really good fun fact, Isaac. Thank you for sharing that. Very cool.
And also, as I mentioned earlier, it was also the same material used to make lightsabers. In A New Hope.
Yep.
And the original trilogy.
Yep.
Oh, look, there's another connection to Star Wars. Whoop whoop.
There's connections all over this.
There's connections. I mean, you start looking at the history of this movie, and there's numerous connections.
I know an episode we need to do.
What?
We need to do an episode about E.T. and the old man wrinkly penis. And bring Luna Girl on because she hates that movie as much as I do. Anyways. No, I don't really hate it, but E.T. does remind me of, hey, it's John Williams.
I know it is. That's why I was giving you that look.
But you said something else, and I went, isn't that something that we would talk about like after dark?
Yeah.
Well, it is kind of after dark.
At this point, yes, it is.
Anyways, anything else? I'm trying to look for something else. I'm not finding anything right now.
I think I'm pretty good if we want to fly this episode on out.
Yeah, okay. I think so. Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm not really seeing anything else that really
pops out and says hello.
Yep.
Hello there.
Yep.
Hello there. Hello there. Oh, wrong fandom. My bad.
That's okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up and put it in a box with a bow then, this episode.
All right, we'll wrap it up.
Thanks.
Go for it.
Well, just thank you to everyone that joined us in the chat.
Thank you for showing up, everybody.
We had a good chat tonight. Thank you for sticking with us, and hopefully you enjoyed the episode as much as I believe we all enjoyed watching the movie and going back in time.
I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
Blue eye. I mean, hello. Look at him, not me.
Yeah.
Eyes.
Oh yeah.
Long, humble, sweet apple pie. Why are you looking at me?
So yeah. So any last thoughts?
Look at him.
Oh yeah.
That's actually Superman 3 right there, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, I believe it is.
Because that's Richard Pryor.
Yep. Yeah, that is Richard.
Yeah, that's when he hands him the fake the kryptonite he was supposed to make, but he couldn't find that little 1% or percentage of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, Superman 3 for me is a guilty pleasure. I will watch that movie. I will laugh. I love it. Mainly one of the reasons why I love it is because Christopher Reeve, and I'm going to say this, does a great job with not only playing Superman, but also bad Superman. And that's probably why a lot of people don't like it, because of the fact that you do see Superman drinking alcohol.
I don't care if Superman drinks alcohol.
Doesn't bother me.
But I want him to remain. I like the fact that he's good. Superman will still have his own battles. Clark Kent will have his own battles.
Right. And that's what happened at the end of it. That at the end of it, that's what happened was Clark Kent had to pretty much fight Superman, the evil Superman, to get to get rid of him. And eventually Superman, he turned back into Superman. And for me, it's a guilty pleasure. It's the first movie I ever saw of Superman, so it will always be my guilty pleasure. I know a lot of people hate it. That's fine. Like I said, if we all like the same stuff, it'd be a boring world.
But so I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's actually, it was how I actually got how I actually got introduced to Superman outside the comic books. So it was when we watched the number 3. So, and then went back and watched the rest of them. And then I watched the 4th one too. So, which I really like. But
I've seen all the way up through, I think I've seen Man of Steel.
That I have not seen.
I know I've seen the Returns.
I haven't seen that one either.
Can't remember if I saw Man of Steel or not.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So,
I know I haven't seen anything. I know like the Ben Affleck Batman stuff and the current Superman. I know I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I've seen Returns and that's it.
Yeah.
Anything after that I've not seen.
Yeah.
Justice League and all that other stuff. So I've not seen any of these newer movies.
But good night, Kenny. Have a good evening.
Peace. Definitely, Kenny. Thanks for coming.
Thanks you
for stopping by.
He knows how the show goes.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, we have no idea what we're doing next week. We are on the march to 200. This was episode 198. We are 2 away from 200.
Oh, gee.
We'll see what happens. I mean, we may just come on and have a nice little fun time.
Okay.
Throw out a link or whatnot. Speaking of links, if you want to join us Thursday nights during the watch party for
Rebels season 4
at 10 p.m. Eastern, the link is pinned to the top of the chat right now to live chat. Obviously, if you're listening to this audio only, let me know, shoot me an email, whatnot. I will get you a link to it. Get you the link for it if you want to come on Discord, but that's up to you. Anyways, we're having a lot of fun. That last week was the first one, and I had a lot of fun. I want to thank Nicole, Megan, Spencer.
I think there's.
Is that it?
Maybe.
Anyways, I had a great time. Megan got in there really early. I was already in there early. She got in there, first one in there. Me and her chatted for a bit. Then Spencer came in, and then Nicole showed up. And then one by one, Spencer stayed on long enough after Nicole got off because he was waiting for Jedi Fallen or Jedi Survivor to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So he would stay there until it was time for download for him. So then he left, and me and Megan stayed on a little longer. We talked.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was a good night, and we had a lot of fun watching. One for me watching season 4 for the first time, really getting a lot of stuff. As I said that night, there's a lot of stuff that came up through 1, 2, and 3 that I went, oh wow, okay, go back and watch the Ahsoka trailer. Oh look, that, and that.
Yeah.
Or hey, that reminds me of something in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So of course now it's going to the scenes where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go back and watch Clone Wars.
Megan says episode 200 should be pure shenanigans. How insane can we get? How insane can this show get? We don't want to know.
All we got to do is bring Shanti and Josh on. Pop my culture.
Sure. Yep.
Anyways, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight and joining us in the chat. We had a great time talking about Superman 1978 movie starring Marlon Brando and Gene Hackman.
Yep, and Christopher.
Whoa.
He had third billing. Yeah.
No, he was the one that was one of the main characters. Let's get this straight
Speaking of
here.
which, real quick, and I meant to bring this up, but I forgot to. Wasn't the guy that played Perry White? Wasn't he one of the original Little Rascals?
I think he was. Wasn't sure. I'm not sure though.
Should have had that ready to go.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you,
right, Kim.
Nicholas.
Close us out, Kim.
All right. Well, again,
Why look this up and stop us halfway through it to say
Yeah.
it?
Again, thank you everyone for joining us in the chat. If you are listening to this on the audio version, please consider joining us at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific every Tuesday night. We have a very lively chat, which we had tonight. And it's actually quite fun. The chat has fun. Again, we like to thank our Patreons. I'm not even gonna try and list them. They'll be at the end of this video.
Patrons.
And
What? You want to list them?
and also
There they are.
oh, thank you to our Patreons, Luna Girl and Dragon Buddy, Don Delasnooch Solsky, Nicholas Schaefer, Steve Long, Hannah, Mikey, Brinley, and Case. Also, if you are listening to this on the audio, please consider going back and seeing some of our replays and giving them a like. And if you like them, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And you can even leave us a comment. You can email us at our Gmail, which is used and abused.
Okay, Kim. We're good.
We're good. Gotcha.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I can't find it, but yeah, right there.
Here we go.
He played Jackie. He was Jackie in the Little Rascals.
okay.
The actual name is Jackie Cooper. My bad. Anyways, until next week, which we don't know what we're talking about yet. So
Just
stay
keep an
tuned.
eye on the socials.
Anyways, I am Scott,
I am Kim.
and I'm not ready either. So
And I'm Nicole.
My name is I am not ready, as always. Go figure. As we like to always say when Nicole likes to act to it.
Please get your shit together.
Exactly. But until next week, have a great week.
And a great weekend.
Be kind to everyone.
Peace.
Peace. Good night, everybody.
Good night.